Okay, today's daf is Yoma Memtet, Yoma 49. I made it to the base medrash here, the main base medrash here in Tulsa and Bnei Yeshivas. All the sardoms were taken, so this is the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Appropriate, we're learning now about the avoda done in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. That's the first Kodesh for today. The Gemara says in Memchet Beis, the Gemara has a question. Ba'minei Rav Sheshes on the top of Memchet Beis, halacha b'small ma'u. What's the halacha if you do halacha b'small? Now Rashi, we're talking about when you bring a korban, one of the avodos is the halacha sadam you bring to the mizbeach. So if you do it with your left hand, what's the halacha? Amar Rav Sheshes tanisu and otal v'mach l'gemino v'sakaf b'smolo. We learn it out from the avoda of the Kohen Gadol that he does. He brings the kaf of the ketores with his left hand. So you see that halacha is small. And the Gemara seems to be the answer. And then the Gemara on Memtet and Aleph, the Gemara has a brayso, which is a question. Maybe zar v'onein shikra balmum b'kabbalah halacha v'zrika pasal v'chein yoshe v'chein small pasal tiyufta. So you see from a brayso that halacha done with your left hand is pasal. It's tiyufta. So that seems to be the maskana of the Gemara. So there's a couple of problems with this. First of all, Tosfos Shanim notes on the bottom of Memtet and Aleph, came a small kashim, masisin in raya, the hainu mishin the left sharp. Problem with this is that it comes out that halacha with the small is not good. Or a Yom Kippur, he was doing the kaf with the small, and that was a halacha. So if the resolution to this question, halacha sadam, is possible the small from this brisa, so too should be the halacha. How can we say that's the mitzvah? That the Kohen Gadol, the Mishnah says he does it with his small. Furthermore, the brisa is a little strange. The brisa says zar va'onein shikro balmum kabbalah halacha v'zrika pasal, and all three things in Kabbalah Sadam, halacha Sadam, and Zrika is pasal. V'chein yoshe v'chein small. Why does it say v'chein yoshe v'chein small pasal? Why didn't it just say zar va'onein shikro balmum yoshe v'small pasal? It seems that there's a difference between Yoshev and small as opposed to Zar Onin Shikro Balmum. And the last question is technically how are we going to resolve the fact that this avoda, we said in the previous year that the avoda of bringing the ketores into the Beis Hamikdash was not really like the four avodas that we said in the shir yesterday on Memches. So how did the Gemara originally want to answer? If Sheish wanted to answer from bringing the kaf in, what's the connection between the two? In order to answer all these questions, I want to say that to fix the Shakla a little bit at the end of the Gemara. First of all, Tosfos Shanim, he doesn't say tiyufta. The Gemara brings a braysa. It says that halacha is not good with the small, and it doesn't say ti. And the Gemara says tiyufta. Rav Sheshes tiyufta, we see halacha the dam is not good with the small. The way the girsa of Tosfos Shanim is kasha. Kasha is in tiyufta. Tiyufta is a refutation. Kasha means a question, but if we find a way to answer it, we can answer it. I want to suggest the Gemara then continues on Memtet and Aleph, and the Gemara says. How could Rav Sheshes have already stated an answer to the question halacha b'small? He wanted to say that from our Mishnah that from ketores must be its kshera. How did he come to learn like that? Because he knew about this brayso. He already asked Rav Chisda a different time for this brayso. Rav Chisda wanted to know halacha not b'small, halacha b'zar. What's the halacha? And he says kshera, and he brings a pasuk. And then Rav Sheshes asked him from this brayso. So Rav Sheshes knew the brayso, so why was he answering in the first place that it's kshera b'small? So the Gemara answers, "Basa deshama hadar osa." First, he tried to answer our Mishnah, and then after he heard about our Mishnah, then he asked his question on Rav Chisda about halacha bazar. So the Gemara says, "V'harav Chisda krakam." Rav Chisda brought a proof that halacha bazar should be kshera. The Gemara says, "The avad ma'isa itztaba." What does this exactly mean? The avad ma'isa itztaba. So Rashi says, "The avad ma'isa itztaba" means that after the Kabbalah Saddam was done by the Kohen, so that he put it in the hands of a Yisrael Zar, and then he took it, and then the Kohen took it from him and did the halacha and did the zrika. Pasuk, it's not mashma. The Pasuk says, "Vayishka b'esam vayishru kohanim miyadam." That the Yisrael took hold of it miyadam from the hands of the Yisrael. It was in the hands of the Yisrael before the zrika, not after the Kabbalah, before the halacha. Then after the halacha, I want to suggest that this brisa they bring from Shikar Zar Oni Shikar Balmum Kabbalah halacha zrika pasal. That's saying you all the four of these things are pasal, both all in the Kabbalah, halacha, and zrika. All three things. Chen Yoshev, Chen Small. That's only a psul. It's not a psul in all three things. It's only a psul in the zrika. But a Kabbalah and halacha would be ksher. That's Chen Yoshev, Chen Small is just an addition on the zrika. And that's why the pasuk Rav Chisda brings Vayishkdu Apes Vayizruku Vanim Miyadam. So there it's talking about where, and that's what the Gemara says Ma'isa Itzba. Ma'isa Itzba, not like Rashi says that they put it in the hands of Yisrael after they did the Kabbalah Saddam. The Kohen did the Kabbalah Saddam. We're talking about Ma'isa Itzba is like you pass it on a bench. And we're saying the Gemara is Medame when you pass, if the Kohen would pass it to another Kohen on a bench in place of doing a halacha, he would just pass it on a bench instead of actually bringing it. That would be the same thing. And the Gemara is saying that would be kshera. That's like bringing it with your left hand. You're getting the job done. You're doing it with your force, but the Kohen's doing the halacha, but he's doing it b'small, or doing it by ma'isa itzba. That's what the Gemara is saying, that halacha b'small, that's the maskana of the Gemara. That would ma'isa itzba, the Gemara is going to be machalik, that the pasuk of Chisda brought shows that V'yizruku kohanim miyadam, that it was brought from the hands of Yisrael to show that even though Yisrael would technically be apostle with the halacha, but the Gemara is machalik between a zar doing a halacha and a small doing a halacha. If a zar does halacha, it's completely done from the koach of a zar. But if it's done ma'isa itzba, it's done with a small. The Kohen brings it just as with his left hand, or he does a ma'isa itzba, he pushes it on a bench. So that would be kshera. That would be miyadam. That would be kshera. And therefore, we could resolve all our questions. And the maskana of the Gemara is really that halacha b'small would be kshera. The brisa was a kasha. It was mashma from the brisa that small would be hustled with the halacha by dam. And the maskana of the Gemara that halacha b'small really is kshera. Bazar is psula. That's what it said. It's explicitly halacha bizar. But that would be kshera. And therefore, you can learn from Yom Kippur, our Mishnah, there's no problem of being a halacha done by small, because halacha could be done by small.